Imagine this. You open your eyes to the sound of your phone buzzing. Still half asleep, you grab it, expecting just another boring notification, maybe an email or some random spam. But what you see on the screen makes your heart skip a beat. Your bank has sent you an alert. Deposit received $1 million. At first, your brain refuses to believe it. You rub your eyes, blink, and check again. The number's still there. $1 million US, not in some fantasy, not in a dream, but in your real account. You pinch yourself. It hurts. You're awake. You refresh the app. The number stays. Your first thought is that it must be a mistake. Some billionaire accidentally wired you their fortune, some glitch in the system, maybe a cruel joke. But then you hear shouts outside your window. You see neighbors rushing into the street, holding their phones, screaming, crying, laughing. Car horns honk, fireworks go off. You check social media, and the trending topic is everywhere. Everyone in the world just got $1 million. Not just you, not just your city, not just your country. Every single person alive. Over 8 billion people, from toddlers in remote villages to billionaires in penthouses, now have exactly $1 million more than they had yesterday. It doesn't matter who you are, where you live, or how rich or poor you were before. Overnight, the human race has been transformed into a planet of millionaires. At first, the reaction is pure euphoria. Imagine the scenes. Streets filled with people dancing and celebrating, families hugging, tears streaming down their faces. For some, it feels like the end of suffering. Debts can be paid, mortgages erased, medical bills gone in an instant. For the first time in history, everyone has enough to cover their needs, maybe even their dreams. Shops are stormed within hours. Jewelry stores are emptied as people buy gold and diamonds. Electronics fly off the shelves. Luxury boutiques, normally quiet and exclusive, are flooded with crowds. Car dealerships run out of stock before noon. Private jet companies receive thousands of booking requests at once. Airlines see websites crash under the load of millions trying to buy first-class tickets. In the chaos of joy, people hand out cash tips like candy. Waiters receive $100 bills for a cup of coffee. Strangers on the street are given stacks of cash just for smiling. For one shining day, the world looks like heaven. Everyone feels free. No more boss, no more alarm clock, no more fear of bills. People call their jobs and quit in dramatic fashion. "I don't need this anymore. I'm rich now," they shout as they walk out the door. It feels like the dawn of a golden age, but paradise has cracks, and they begin to show almost immediately. Think about what actually keeps the world running. The food you eat doesn't magically appear in stores. It is planted by farmers, harvested by workers, transported by truck drivers, stocked by clerks. The electricity powering your lights is maintained by engineers, technicians, and repair crews. Your garbage is taken out by sanitation workers. Your streets are cleaned, your buses driven, your hospitals staffed, all by people doing jobs that suddenly no longer seem worth their time. Because if you had $1 million, would you still wake up at 5 a.m. to collect trash? Would you still sweat in a factory for 8 hours? Would you risk your life as a firefighter or a police officer? The answer for most people is no, and that answer sends a ripple of consequences through the entire system. Within days, shortages begin. Grocery stores run empty. Farmers decide to take a vacation instead of planting new crops. Truckers leave their rigs parked and head to the beach. Gas stations run dry because nobody's working the refineries. Restaurants close their kitchens. Hospitals cancel surgeries because doctors and nurses have walked out. The essential workers who form the backbone of society vanish. And suddenly, the $1 million in your pocket feels a lot less powerful. Then comes the storm of inflation. Money has value because it is scarce, because not everyone has it. But what happens when everyone does? The answer is simple. Money loses its meaning. A loaf of bread that cost $2 yesterday now sells for $50, then $100, then $1,000. Houses double in price in a week. Rent skyrockets. Used cars become priceless, not because they are rare, but because demand is insane. With billions of people trying to spend at once, supply cannot keep up. And when supply collapses, prices explode. History has seen this before, though never on such a global scale. In Weimar, Germany after World War I, people carried stacks of marks in wheelbarrows to buy a single loaf of bread. In Zimbabwe, inflation reached such absurd levels that banknotes printed with trillions of dollars could barely buy groceries. In Venezuela, prices doubled every few days until people gave up using cash altogether. Now imagine that kind of hyperinflation, not in one country, but everywhere at once. Your $1 million quickly becomes worthless. What seemed like a fortune can barely cover daily survival. Within weeks, you might discover that your million buys you no more than $100 used to. And the dream of global wealth turns into a nightmare of poverty because the real scarce resources, food, water, energy, are now out of reach for many. The social order begins to collapse. Governments try to control spending, freezing accounts, setting limits on withdrawals, even banning luxury purchases. But enforcement is impossible. Protests erupt in every city. People who thought they had been freed feel cheated. Riots break out when shelves remain empty. Crime soars. Thieves target those flashing cash or luxury cars. Scammers invent schemes to protect your million and drain accounts overnight. And the billionaires. They are the ones who smile quietly through the chaos. Because while ordinary people splurged on parties and Lamborghinis, the ultra-rich invested in land, factories, and resources. They already own the food supply, the energy grids, the shipping companies. When money becomes meaningless, what matters is control of real assets. And billionaires keep that control. In fact, they grow even more powerful because desperate new millionaires will sell everything they own just to survive. The gap between rich and poor grows wider, not smaller. Within a few years, most people have blown through their million, their savings destroyed by inflation, their possessions losing value. They return to work because they must. Society rebuilds slowly but not equally. Those who had financial knowledge invested wisely and protected themselves. Everyone else returns to the same struggles, only with the bitter memory of the day they were millionaires and lost it all. The psychology of sudden wealth plays its role too. Lottery studies show that most winners lose their money within 5 to 10 years. They overspend, trust the wrong friends, or fall victim to scams. Some spiral into depression, realizing the happiness they expected never came. The same patterns repeat on a planetary scale. Millions of people, unprepared to manage wealth, burn through it quickly. Friendships break, families fight, communities dissolve. Money brings joy at first, but later it brings jealousy, anger, and regret. And through it all, the truth becomes clear. Money is not what keeps civilization running. People do. The farmers, the builders, the teachers, the healers. When they walk away, no amount of cash can replace them. And when everyone has the same amount of money, the only thing that really matters is not cash at all, but resources, skills, and cooperation. So what if everyone in the world got $1 million? For one shining moment, it would feel like paradise. But paradise would crumble quickly. The value of money would collapse. Inflation would devour fortunes. Chaos would spread. The rich would grow richer, the poor poorer, and the dream of universal wealth would dissolve into dust. The lesson is as old as humanity. Wealth is not about the numbers in your account. It's about what those numbers can buy and how wisely you use them. $1 million is nothing if bread costs 1,000. A fortune disappears if you don't understand it. So the next time you dream of becoming a millionaire overnight, remember this story. Money by itself cannot fix the world. It cannot buy meaning or stability or knowledge. Only people working together with wisdom and responsibility can do that. And if everyone woke up tomorrow with $1 million, it wouldn't create a utopia. It might just destroy the world we know.